Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. And today we're actually talking about one of my favorite topics on how do we make our home the best that it can be so that way you can enjoy it as much as possible. So let me share my screen with you and we're going to get started. Here we go. So let's talk about how do we make small changes or a little bit of bigger changes and do it in such a way that is not going to break your wallet, still make you happy, and may want to have you stay at your home for a staycation rather than go away somewhere. So for those of you that are new here and don't know me, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Olga St Pierre. I am a real estate advisor, real estate agent by trade, and I have been loving my work and working with clients across the United States and Canada for the last 16 years. And education and bringing information that is relevant, taking what's out there in the universe and making it easy to understand, make it apply to what we have right here in our community is what I have been doing since, was it 15, but another 5 to 6 years at this point. And our goal is to help you become a homeowner, whatever part of your life journey that you are currently on. And then once you are a homeowner, we want to help you be a sustainable or responsible homeowner, because as you agree with me, our home is the biggest investment that we have. And we definitely want to take care of it and protect it because it also does age as we go. And hence, we're talking about renovations today. So as part of what we do in our commitment to help you, we have our concierge service. So think of this as yellow pages from A to Z, from start to finish. So if you are looking for a contractor to help you with renovations, if you're looking for just some muscle to help you maybe bring some boxes down from basement, from the attic, or anything else that you can possibly think of, we are here to help you. We have a large spreadsheet with all different kinds of people that we have worked with in the past, that our clients have also shared with us. We want to be able to help you as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Say, hey, Olga, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What resources do you have that can help me? We're happy to do that. So why is it important to be in the loop? You may tell me, Olga, you know what? I don't really need to know about these renovations because my house is just as comfortable as it is right now for me. And I am not planning on making a move. So like, I don't have to worry about it. Yet, here is the reality. And the reality is that in a few years, or you may not even realize it, sometimes it can happen overnight, you might actually do have to make a move. And it starts out with make me some kind of a life change. Maybe you get a new job, a new opportunity, or something else. And just being aware and understanding what today's buyers are looking for, how trends have changed in the last even 5, 10, 15 years, you'll be surprised to see. So that's one part of that. And the other part of it is with the new technology and new things that are constantly coming out, it's just cool to see the changes and the evolvement of what used to be the top edge and the coolest thing to do is now something completely different. And a big part of what I also want to share with you is that a lot of these changes can be done and be made on a small budget. You don't have to think about, when you're watching HGTV and they're putting in $100,000 kitchen. I don't want you to think that this is something that you cannot do in your own home. We just have to change and shift our perspective. And that is my goal to share with you today. So what we're going to start out with are some of the things that you can accomplish very easily right at the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, What is it that we can do that is going to have a big impact, yet not take a lot of your time? And as you guys know me, I am a huge proponent of starting with paint. And what I can tell you is that paint is one of the best ways for you to create more space, to freshen up your space, to do it very inexpensively. And this is something that you can do yourself, even if you're not handy, even if you've never done it before. And what the colors that we focus on are neutral. So if you are thinking about maybe doing an accent wall, maybe if you're thinking about doing a pop of color, just hang tight because I'm going to also have some suggestions for you. So when we're talking about paint, we're talking about neutral palette. Neutral palette means it's going to be your grays, your beiges, and my favorite category is neutral whites because it doesn't go into the cooler side of the gray. It doesn't go into the beige. It's kind of a combination of both. So the suggestions that I have here for you are some of the ones that I have collected over time in working with many painters. So in the beginning, when I was working on this workshop and thinking about ways to help you, our viewers, I asked my painters, I said, where do you usually go get your paint? What is your experience has been? So this is the response that I got. Most of the time, painters use better quality paint because it does make a difference. And they go usually to get their paint either at Benjamin Moore or Sherwin-Williams. Now, I don't want you to think, well, I can't afford that. I'm just not going to be able to do that. Just hang on. And here's why. We talk about things that we can do on the budget. So I do have a solution for you for that as well. So let's say that you are looking at this list that I'm sharing with you today, and you say, Olga, I absolutely love the color cloud white. Well, the technology today is going to allow you to take that number, OC-130, straight to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever store that you have nearby. Even Walmart has a paint department. And you can say, hey guys, I love this Benjamin Moore number. It's called Cloud White. Here is the number. Please match it to the paint that you have. And they will be able to do that for you because they have the technology to do that. So my suggestion is take the inspiration, see what's out there, figure out the colors that you like, and then adapt it based on your own current situation. So as we go through our workshop today, I want you to see, and I have added a lot of things that are before and afters because there's no better way to see the progress made with the small changes that we can make as seeing the before picture and then the after picture. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the cool colors that are coming out every year. So as you guys may know, every color company comes out with a color of the year or a color palette of the year. And it's very interesting to see what people decide on the colors of the year will be. So they are all over the place, and it's very interesting to see. So as an example, here I'm sharing with you on this slide the color of the year for bear. So it is a very deep, cool color called Rumors. And then what they also do is they say, okay, well, here's the color chip for you. And we're also going to give you a color palette that you can use to mix and match with our choice for the year. What I love about some of these deep colors is that, as you can see, there is no longer a rule of thumb that someone in the castle has created that your kitchen, as an example, has to be either white or brown or some other color. You can have it two-tone, you can have it three-tone, you can have a pastel, or in this particular example, they took this color called Rumors and actually made base cabinets out of it, which I think is pretty cool. When you have a contrast of the color of the year, and then you have your upper cabinets as white, it really has a striking contrast, and it really makes a huge impact on the kitchen in this example. So here we have some Sherwin-Williams suggestions for you. And then they also give you suggestions on how you can utilize those colors. And one of the things that I love about Sherwin-Williams is they also have a really cool technology about what you can do with these colors. So we included a QR code. If you wanted to check it out with your phone, you can absolutely do that and play around with these colors and to see what that may be as an opportunity for you in your own situation. So how are we going to figure out what colors make sense to you? I have lots of different ideas because if you haven't done anything and you're starting out, great, I have ideas for you. If you already have tried and get some samples, or maybe you got some chips, there are different ways depending on how deep you want to get into this process. So easy ways, of course, somewhere to start is going to be going to your nearest store and getting some sample containers, which are either pints or quarts. Then you can also check the website for different information. And one of other things that I really like, which is part of the newer technology that I have seen in the last couple of years, you can actually get paint swatches and you can get peel and stick paint samples, which I think is amazing. Because if you don't really want to go and get the actual containers and the brush and then go around and actually put swatches in every room of your home, which is what I recommend, because the light is going to be different depending on which room you're at, if it's south facing, if it's north facing, and also depending on what kind of weather that you currently have. And you do want to see how this paint is going to look when it's dark as well as when it's light. So having these peel and stick paint samples is if you don't want to actually put paint on your walls, you can just put that sticky note, is what I would call it, on the wall. Look at it, maybe take a picture, study it, and then you peel it off and then you put it in a different room. I just love the idea. Somebody came up with that. I think is just absolutely genius. We also have some other websites for you to definitely try out. If you don't want to even go their way and say, oh God, I don't want to spend the money right now. I just want to toy with the idea and see what really kind of feels right to my eyes, then you can do Snap Your Colors and then head to the Sherwin-Williams visualizer. At that visualizer site, you can actually upload the pictures of any room of your house or exterior of your home or your front door or shutters or anything else that you can think of. And you can literally take your mouse and just paint your picture with the colors and see what they look like. To me, that is like the greatest place to start if you are not sure where to go at all. So definitely check out that website. So when we're talking about paint, I just want to give you some general rule of thumb on the different types of paint. That's where the technology comes in. Because if you are going to be painting a bathroom and you're going to be painting your front door, you definitely want to use different types of paint. So we have anything from flat, eggshell, satin, semi-gloss, and gloss. So depending on what you're painting, if you have a lot of traffic in that area, what kind of finish you're looking for, I just encourage you to take a look at this guide to help you with some of your decision-making process. Now, what I see a lot of the times when people move in our real estate practice is lots of cans of paint sitting in the garage or the basement. And of course, the reason being is that they say, well, I just need to know what the color is, or if I need to get back and do some painting, I have some paint left. I have an easier way for you guys to figure out what paint. And this is using the back of your light switch. I thought this was a genius idea when I found it. And this is what I encourage you to use when you embark on your update and upgrade journey with some of the renovations to your home. On the back of your light switch, you want to put down when you painted, what room this paint was used in, what is the brand, if you used different trim, if you used any kind of accent colors, what kind of paint it was, and then attach either an actual number or just write it in with a Sharpie. I love this idea because then you know it's never going to get lost because that is a light switch cover that you always have. And all you have to do is use a screwdriver to open it up, flip it open, and take a look. So the first project that I want to encourage you to give it a shot, it's not hard to mess it up, is to work on your front door. So if you think about it, front door is the face of your home. It is that first impression, and it's one of the easiest in the really inexpensive ways for you to dress up the exterior of your home. So here, I just want you to remember that you are going to have to use the exterior door paint because of the weather elements. And here, I also invite you guys to try some really, really cool colors. We have our traditional white and we have our traditional black, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, having some really cool color door is one of the most amazing ways for you to just smile every time you come home. So the pictures that I have here for you, the one that is purple is actually one of my clients. She loves purple. So when she moved into her home, she asked me, Olga, do you think it'll be too much if I paint my front door my favorite color, purple? And I said to her, Stephanie, go for it. And she did. And as you can see, every time I go visit her, I smile at her door because I know it makes her happy. So other examples that I have here for you are some pastel colors, or some brighter colors, or going for red. So you can use that technology on the Sherwin-Williams website to play around with colors and to see what makes sense to you. So if you're going to be doing the exterior door, how about I give you some inspiration on doing some things on the interior doors? It doesn't mean that all of your doors have to be white inside. What if you wanted to put a pop of color, not for everybody else to see, but for yourself to enjoy? So some ideas here for you. You can do before and after of your front door. As you can see, you can paint your closet doors, you can paint your bedroom doors, or you can do something different. You decide. Next up, we are going to talk about how we can use the paint to transform our stairs. As you can imagine, if you're walking in and you have a beautiful staircase, there are certain colors that are going to date your home. I know when I come in and we start having conversations with the clients who are getting ready to move, I have an idea on the year the house was built, a lot of the times if I see that staircase. So very easy way for you to do some prep work and planning, and then do a refresh. So you can repaint the spindles, you can make them white, you can make them black. If you want to, you can replace the spindles with metal to make a more striking view. And also you can pull off the carpet and just paint the stairs. So these are some of the ideas that I just want to share with you, that yes, you can actually accomplish this in one weekend with some prep work and sanding and some getting things together for this kind of project. All right, now we're heading into the kitchens, and I actually wanted to give you an actual example on how you can do a update of the kitchen on a budget. So this particular kitchen was done and the transformation was accomplished with just under $5,500. So let's see how they actually did that. So phase one, we are going to be doing it ourselves and painting the walls. So this is where you get all the supplies that you need, you get your paint, you get things ready, and it's your time on making that happen. So phase two is going to be hiring the professionals to paint the cabinets and then adding the hardware. I am a big believer, if you have older kitchens, a lot of the times they are going to be better quality, they're going to be solid wood. Some of the kitchen cabinets that I see on the market today. So I always encourage you is that use what you have first, especially if your cabinets are in good shape. You can, if they are solid wood, you can paint them just about any color that you want because you have some really good foundation to work with. So in this particular situation, we hired a professional to paint the cabinets and add the hardware, and that cost $2,500. And yes, because it is labor intensive, you have to remove things, you have to sand things. It's going to take a couple of coats. Phase number three is hiring the professional to add new countertops. This is where they have to come out, they have to do the measurement, and then they make a custom-made countertop for your space. The cost for that was about $2,700. And as you can see, this is the end result. So think of it this way. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do a little bit at a time. If you had to pick different colors and you're not sure what to do, if you have a smaller kitchen, the rule of thumb is go lighter, as light as possible, because the light color is going to make your space look bigger. If you have small counter space, you can select some of the leftover material at discounted price, but still get the effects of having a high quality material. Now, remember, we were talking about $5,500 based on our location. So depending where you are, that price may vary. That's one. And two, I know the prices are also going to vary depending on the time of the year that you do this. If it's a busy time of the year, you're probably going to pay more money. But if you are in the winter, which is fall and winter, is when I usually recommend doing these renovations and the projects, because contractors are not as busy, you might be able to get a better deal. Here's another before and after. These cabinets and walls were painted by the homeowner, and a professional was hired just to replace the connecting countertop and the backsplash. So here are some numbers for you as well. $300 for the paint supplies and about $3,300 for the professional countertop and backsplash installation. I think this is pretty cool looking. So if you don't want to paint your cabinets, you absolutely don't have to. And I can tell you that there are people, and quite a few of them, that like their oak cabinets, they like their maple cabinets, they like their darker brown cabinets, and that's perfectly okay. So for example, this homeowner wanted to avoid altering the cabinets, so they found a style that complemented those cabinets. So she said, you know what, I really like my cabinets, but I really want to dress it up. And one of the best ways you can do that is with the backsplash. I am a big fan of a classic subway tiles. You can do a backsplash. You know what, too, they're also different sizes. So you can make them smaller, you can make them bigger. And if you want for different striking effects, you can use a different color grout, like she did on this photo. She opted to go with the grout that was darker versus something that maybe was lighter, so that way you can see the seams as much. So paint was done by the homeowner. The cost for the cabinet hardware was about $100 without the labor. Cost for the subway tile was about $300. And then a new granite countertop was installed. And she found the inspiration just by doing some Googling and Pinterest search to see what really attracts her, right? The eyes get drawn to something that you really like. And then she saved that as an inspiration, and then she made it work in her budget. Some other additional kitchen tips that I want to share with you. If you want to do a little bit of a dressing up and you really are on a tight budget and you have a valance that is above your kitchen sink, I do recommend that you remove it, because the valances really do kind of like almost stamp a date on when the kitchen cabinets were installed. I'm also a big fan of using spray paint. Rust-Oleum is an amazing, versatile brand, and you can use their spray paint for, oh my goodness, so many things. So if you have really good quality door handles and knobs, and they're metal, and let's say you want to do a refresh and change in color, use your existing knobs and just spray paint them. You can try stainless steel contact paper and other fun prints on your appliances. And there's also contact paper and peel and stick tiles that you can use as your backsplash if you're on the budget, and actually putting up actual tile may not be as cost efficient for you. As I already mentioned to you a little bit of kind of a glimpse before, I also want to show you that if you only have a budget to paint half of your cabinets, you can absolutely do that. You can do a darker bottom cabinets and leave the top the same. If you want to do a little bit of a dressing, you can see what was the before photo on the left and the after photo on the right. They added some trim on the ceiling to dress up the cabinets. They added the backsplash. They painted the cabinets, and they swapped out the countertop. So do you have to do all of it? Absolutely not. You can just do some painting, or you can do peel and stick tiles for backsplash, and it's still going to be a huge difference. All right, now we're heading into the bathrooms. So would you believe if I told you that this transformation was done at under $300 by the homeowner? Exactly. So let me share with you how they did it. So we had new fixtures that we replaced, right, in the bathroom as well. Then we had some peel and stick tiles that we used for the floor, and then a grout was added for the effect. And then we spray painted the vanity fixture. As you can see, it's the same fixture. It was a silver before, and now it became a dramatic brushed nickel color. So I think this is pretty cool looking. They also probably added new shower curtain, maybe a new rod, but I think it looks really, really neat. So some other ideas for you in terms of how you can make the bathroom work for you. Just wanted to give you this as a kind of brainstorming ideas on what else you can do depending on your own space. I encourage you to maximize the space with shelves, hooks, back of the door towel holders. You can refresh the cabinets with new hardware and the new faucet if you want to, or spray painted. You can frame out the mirror and take out those clips, because clips are as basic as you can possibly get, but I know it's the easy way out. One of the best ways you can actually do this is not use the clips, but use liquid nails and just glue the mirrors. That's what I actually have done in my own house. They've been hanging on since 2005, and everything is still really, really solid. You can refresh your caulk and grout. You can use wallpaper for dramatic effects, and a lot of wallpaper is just peel and stick. We also love peel and stick vinyl flooring tiles that you can also use as a backsplashes if you want to. If you want to go a little bit deeper and you have really good quality tub and tile, yet the colors are no longer something that maybe you want to see, right? If we are in the pastels from like 70s and 80s, you can actually paint, which is called reglazing, and refinishing your tub and tiles. It's a little bit more work involved. There are products that you can do it yourself that Rust-Oleum also makes. However, it's a little bit more involved of a project, and a lot of the times it may make sense for you to hire the professional. So let's talk about some other things. New carpet. So here's what I would recommend here. Go neutral. Go neutral, and for a cohesive look, put the same color and style of the carpet everywhere. I don't know who decided or thought that it was a good idea at some point in the past to have your hallway one color and then every single bedroom a different color. I don't know what they were trying to say with that, but let's just kind of put that and leave it in the past. We're going to have a cohesive look. We're going to have the same color in all rooms. And one of the suggestions that I have is that, let's say you have smaller kids or you have high trafficked areas. There are carpets now that have like a 3-dimensional colors. And I love that because you can easily hide the stains if you can't get them out, or maybe you can't get fast enough to them. I know Home Depot has quite a few options, and I have recommended that specific selection of colors. And I want you to be just mindful that it might be something that you may want to do. So extra savings tip here is if you have a small room, find a company that may offer you carpet remnants. These are the end pieces that are left over from a big roll. You'll be able to get a really good discount if you can actually get this piece. Now, before replacing carpet, I always suggest you get your carpet professionally cleaned first, just to see if you can put a little bit of freshness and new life into it before investing the money in the new product. Now let's talk about updating or replacing your fixtures. So we always are going to start with, let's work with what we have. Let's see what we can do with it first. And if there's nothing that can be done, or maybe it's finally broken, then we're going to replace it. If you guys haven't been to the lighting department lately, some of these prices are really biting right now. So let's see what we can do with what we have. And this is where spray painting and Rust-Oleum again is going to be your best friend, just to try things out. That's all I invite you to think about. So light fixtures that are brass, or maybe the colors that you don't want anymore, or maybe it's rusty, can be painted. Exterior lights can be painted. You can swap out just the ceiling fan blades. You can swap out the hardware that is holding them. You can do a lot of different things. So I encourage you to just first get the inspiration for the colors, then take a look and see how spray painting may work, and then give it a shot. This is a suggestion for you, actually, that is not going to cost you anything, but just a little bit of eye measurement and maybe a little bit of hardware moving in your room. But one of the easiest ways for you to create more space in the room is take a look and see how your curtain rods are hanging. I don't know whose idea or suggestion it was that we have to hang our rods and we have to literally frame the window. But when you think about it visually, it's going to frame the window and make the room look small. So if you ever look at the magazines where you have photos of bedrooms, you will always see that they always hang the curtains as high up to the ceiling as possible and away from the window, because visually, when you look at the space, it's going to make it look bigger. So as you can see, I just wanted to share with you, this one is the before and after, where you have the windows and you have those curtains that are really hugging that window. When you do just a little bit of a change visually, and then here, this one actually did the paint change as well, you can see how much of a fresher look this makes overall. So the rule of thumb, if you want to give it a shot, will be 13 inches on the side, at least 10 inches on the top. My suggestion is to go as high as possible. Go almost to the ceiling unless you have really high ceilings. So give it a try. And before you do, take the before picture and after picture so you can really compare and do a side by side, which I love to see as well. Reupholstering furniture. Love this project. And I think it's also going to appeal to a lot of you for a few reasons. Number one, we often get furniture handed down to us from our family members. And with time, it goes bad. So how do we preserve it, and how do we keep it for the memory of our loved ones? Just because you're going to make some changes to it doesn't mean that you are giving up something, but you are just making it your own, yet you're still keeping that piece of furniture in the family. So it could be changing the color, it could be changing the fabric, or maybe stuffing it. But the idea here is that you can do it yourself or do it very inexpensively, but there are also upholstery shops that you can use as well. So where to buy and look for these ideas? I gave you some food for thought today. And here's a list of places that you can either go and visit, because a lot of us are visual people. We want to go in and we want to really just touch and look at things when they're hanging, just to get the idea for the size. Or you may want to start online first, maybe save some things and do some food for thought, maybe create a folder on your phone with some of these ideas, and then you can do some shopping. So starting out with your local home improvement store, Home Depot or Lowe's. If you have a floor and decor store near you, I find them amazing because they have things that are in stock. So you can go find the tile that you want, take one of them, go over to the vanity or to the mirror, and you can actually put it side by side to see how you like it and what you think about it. And then you can buy it. Everything that you see on their floor is going to be in stock. So they have a lot more varieties than Home Depot and Lowe's, because they focus on only certain categories of these items. Of course, Wayfair.com, that is a very dangerous website. They offer free shipping and they have millions of different varieties to help you to choose from. Lamps Plus Open Box. I found some really good deals on lamps there that I think were just open box. Maybe they were returned. However, some really good discounts to be had there. Overstock, Amazon, eBay, House with 2 Z's are going to be for your inspiration. And of course, Pinterest. And don't forget Facebook Marketplace for some really cool ideas. People are going to be selling things very inexpensively as well. And Habitat for Humanity stores. Guys, a lot of the times I have seen brand new things from Home Depot, Lowe's, from Target that are being sold there. So don't discount that as an opportunity for you to find something really, really cool for your home. So how are we going to pay for these renovations? Again, we're starting out small, but let's say that you're going to be embarking on something that's going to cost you a couple of $1,000s based on the examples that I gave you today, specifically like for the kitchen. Okay, so some food for thought on how we can make this happen. And I want to help you with some ideas on how do we save for these projects. If you are going to be saving some money, I encourage you to open a high yield savings account. That is not an account that you're going to have with your local big bank, because they're not going to pay you those you are looking at something like Marcus, you can go to a website called Raisin, like the dried grape, raisin.com, and it'll give you a list of different options and different online banks that offer some really good high yield savings accounts. Look for a bank that has no fees. Consider opening a deposit and then balance requirements and how easy it is to access your money when you're doing your research. And a great tool for putting money away for short-term goals, such as home repairs or home updates, is going to be that savings account. You're just putting money away and you're not thinking about that, but yet the money is going to keep growing and earning you interest every month. Another great tip is if we are in the time that you're starting to do this is when you are going to be doing your income taxes. When that tax return comes back and you're getting a refund, you want to take that money and put it straight into your savings account for your goals. That is one of the easiest ways for you to get started on this. And let's make saving money fun. I have a bingo here for you. So take a look at this, print it out, put it on your fridge, put it in your office somewhere where you can see it on a regular basis. And every week you're going to pick a quarter and you're going to put that amount into your savings account. And guess what, guys? By the end, when every single quarter is going to be crossed off on this sheet, you're going to have $10,000 sitting in your savings account. And I think how it's going to be amazing to make you feel when you have that money saved away, whether it's going to be for the project or for a few different projects, or it may be part of your rainy day fund, which is also important to have. So if you are going to do some of these things yourselves, awesome. If you think, you know what, you're going to do a little bit more and you're going to need to hire a professional, when is a good time to do that? Late fall and winter. That's when the professionals are not as busy as spring and summer. So ask if you can purchase materials on your own and just pay for the labor. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I always say it never hurts to ask. Because if you are going to be buying your own supplies, you can get cashback rewards on your credit card. If you are a veteran, you get 10% off at Home Depot and Lowe's, which means it's, again, savings that you can grab for yourself. Where are we going to find contractors? As I already mentioned to you, that's where our concierge service comes in to help you. But if you want to start out with recommendations from your friends and family, absolutely, that would be first place to go. You can find out recommendations on your Nextdoor app, ask around in your local Facebook group. And then if you're not sure, you can see for some professionals on the websites like Thumbtack or Angie's List. And I do suggest that you obtain at least 3 quotes so that way you can get an idea if the price that you are getting is going to be similar with different professionals. You want to see if it's what the current market is really calling for, the cost of materials and the labor, or maybe some people are going to be higher than others. And verify every contractor's license. You want to make sure that they're licensed and that they're insured if they're going to be working in your home. And you can easily do that by Googling contractor's license verification and then your state. That is how to do that. And if that information is not on there, question your contractor. Do you have an active license? Can I please have that number? And do you have insurance? I would like to have that more information. And if the contractor is reputable and a responsible one with a good business, they will have no problems sharing that information with you. So this is what I wanted to share with you. I know I gave you a lot of food for thought, and I invite you and encourage you to use this as a guide. Where do you want to get started? What kind of project are you embarking on? Grab a notebook, and just start jotting some thoughts down. What do you want to do? When do you want to do it? Is it the beginning of the year? Do you want to maybe do something every quarter because you have a couple of different projects that you want to work on? You need some recommendations for contractors or food for thought? You guys know I'm always around. I'm happy to help you. We can talk. You can show me around on Zoom. We can pick my brain. I'm more than happy to help you. If you are looking for some ideas on the best investments that you can make into your home to get the most amount out of the money that you invested, please let me know. We can also brainstorm as well. So my contact information is listed here for you. You can reach out to me via phone call, a text message, or email. And of course, I have a list of other upcoming workshops that you can jump on. We host these on a regular basis, almost weekly. Now, where do we find and host all of our workshops that you can watch afterwards? We have two websites, two YouTube channels for you to look at. The first one is my name. That channel is all about planning and living well in retirement. And all of the videos of the workshops are going to be housed on At Home with Olga YouTube channel. So you can go there at any time and rewatch any of our workshops to get some more motivation and to get some other ideas flowing. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that I gave you some really good food for thought and to kind of help you maybe move in the forward direction, in the right direction, and give you some ideas on maybe where to start, what to do, and help you create a fun corner or do something fun with the space that you currently have. So I want to thank you for spending an afternoon with me today. I hope that I gave you some good ideas and food for thought. And if there's any questions, please let me know. And then I will hope to see you another time. Thank you so much for joining me today. Everybody, you have a great day. Bye-bye.